There is a business credit card that gives you 18 months at 0% interest, the longest 0% interest window in the entire market right now, and almost nobody applies to it because you can't go into a physical bank branch of this specific bank with their logo on the side of the building like you can a normal bank. The name of the bank is Elon Financial, and the reason it flies under the radar is the whole reason it is so good. Let me show you what it is, how to actually get to it, and the specific details you need to know before you apply. Here's why nobody is talking about it. Elon does not market this card directly to consumers the way Chase or American Express does. Elon is a card issuer that partners with a lot of the smaller banks and credit unions, so the card shows up under different bank names, and you can access it through specific application links rather than one national lending page. In our system, we keep these links in what we call the business card locator because they are not sitting on the front page of the website. So most people never even know the card exists because they have never heard of these banks that offer these cards, which are issued by Elon Financial. That is the edge. Low competition for one of the best 0% windows out there. My favorite small banks that are issued by Elon are Fulton Bank and First American Bank. Let me explain the links a little more because this is the part that trips people up. Because Elon runs the card through partner banks and credit unions, there is not one Elon Financial application page. There are many, each tied to a different partner institution, and the terms can vary slightly between them. Finding the card is genuinely half the battle, and that is exactly why so few people apply. And to take this to the next level, you would want to have unique application links from a banker at one of these banks that offer these cards. That way the application goes to a human banker, not just a computer algorithm. We offer these unique banker links to our members inside of our group in Credit Stacking 2.0. This is my mentorship program I've ran for the last 5 years, but you could also go to these banks and get the links directly by building a relationship with a banker yourself. Now for the numbers, because this is why it is worth the effort. 18 months at 0% interest. This is a longer runway than Chase gives you, longer than Bank of America, basically over double, which is down to only 7 months now. So it is by far the longest 0% card on the entire market right now. And Elon will go up to $38,000 on a single card. That's the highest I have seen it on a single card. And one thing that's even cooler is if you do the cards back to back, it's very common that I see two back-to-back $25,000 limits for a total of $50,000. Most I've seen over two cards is $50,000 collectively. So based on what I've seen, you're generally looking at $30,000 to $50,000 over two cards of 0% interest capital for 18 months at Elon Financial without even paying a dime until the interest hits 18 months later. So that is real deployable money at zero cost if you use that 18-month window right. So let me put the 18 months into perspective because it is easy to hear a number and not really feel it. Bank of America, again, gives you 7 months of 0% interest. Chase gives you 12. Elon gives you 18. That is 6 extra months over Chase and almost over a year over Bank of America on the same dollar of capital before interest ever even starts to hit. If you are deploying that money into something that takes time to pay off, those extra months are the difference between comfortably paying it back inside the free window and getting caught off guard sooner if you don't have that long of a runway. A longer runway is not a small perk here. It is the whole reason this card is worth the effort to find. And regarding doing 1 or 2 of the Elon cards, I would always apply for 2 if your intention is max funding, but only apply for the second one if the first one is approved. If you have one LLC only, doing 2 on the same LLC is fine, but if you have 2 LLCs, you'll have a higher chance on getting them both approved for good limits. So 2 LLCs is better than 1. So when you have 2 LLCs, you apply for 1 card with 1 LLC, the second card for the second LLC, 1 card at First American Bank, and then the second one at Fulton Bank is how I would break it up. That is what I would do, and that is what we do for all of our clients in our done-for-you funding service, Scale with Funding. I'll link that down below if you're interested to learn more. But there are specific things you have to know because Elon behaves differently than the big banks. First, Elon always pulls your TransUnion credit report. always. So you want to make sure your TransUnion is dialed in before the application, and you want to sequence Elon knowing it's going to be hitting specifically TransUnion. Second, if you apply for 2 Elon cards, plan on it costing 2 hard inquiries, one for each application, not just one. So sequence it accordingly. And getting 2 hard inquiries for 2 apps in the same bank is relatively unique if the apps are both in the 30-day time frame. At Chase, they're like this as well, but Bank of America and American Express, you can submit multiple applications in a 30-day time frame and only receive 1 hard inquiry. Third, and this is a good one, Elon allows true balance transfers at around a 3% fee, which most business cards do not let you do at all. Only some. So if you have a balance of another card, Elon is one of the few banks that will let you move that balance over to this new Elon card directly. And fourth, the flip side, Elon does not allow limit transfer. So unlike Chase or Bank of America or American Express, you cannot move an old Elon credit limit onto a new card at Elon. So keep that in mind. Let me expand on the TransUnion piece because it changes how you sequence. Since Elon always pulls TransUnion, you want to be smart about what else you apply for around the same time that also hits TransUnion, so you're not lighting up one bureau with a stack of hard inquiries while the other 2 credit bureaus sit clean. The move is to spread your applications across bureaus where you can and slot Elon in deliberately rather than in the middle of a run of other applications that are pulling from TransUnion. And before you apply, you pull your own TransUnion report. You look at TransUnion first and make sure it's clean. You look at the utilization, make sure it's low, make sure the hard inquiries are no more than 2 in the last 6 months, because this is the exact report Elon is going to judge you on. So look at your FICO report, make sure it's clean. They are going to judge you on it once you submit the application. But once you're approved, the point is to actually use the window and not just let it sit. So that $30,000 to $50,000 at 0% interest, you should be able to deploy that into your business or your real estate deal, whatever it is. And the cleanest way to turn a card into usable cash is to run it through a merchant processor. So maybe in your business, you can just use this card and then swipe the card, spend the card, and use the money like that. But if you need the money for something you can't just swipe the card on, you can always liquidate the money into cash for a small percentage, a small fee, and then you have the cash in your bank account from the card, and then you can use the cash to invest into whatever you're trying to invest in. If you can just spend money by swiping the card, then you don't need to worry about liquidation whatsoever. If you have any questions on liquidation, feel free to comment below, and we'll be happy to answer that. And one thing to be clear on, this is not a cash advance. Liquidation allows you to keep that 0% interest for that 18-month period without excessive fees. One of my favorite uses for this card is the balance transfer. If you have a balance on a different card, you can balance transfer to this card. Elon's true balance transfer is at about 3% and lets you move it on the balance over to a new, fresh Elon 18-month 0% interest window. For a 3% fee, you buy yourself 18 months of 0% interest. I think that's a pretty good deal, especially letting that card convert into 25 to 29% interest. It's better to have it on a 0% card. However, before you apply, run the same readiness checklist you would for any strong card. Utilization under 30% on each of your personal credit cards, ideally under 10%. Your hard inquiries no more than 2 in the last 6 months or no more than 4 in the last 12 months, specifically on TransUnion for Elon, and everything else. Make sure the score is good, above a 720. Make sure your payment history is on point. If you do have a negative payment history on your report, we also have a done-for-you credit repair service where we can dispute and remove the negative payment history. We'll link that down below if you need. But the thing is, you just want to make sure your credit report is in good standing before applying for these cards. The Elon cards, they're generally generous, but generous does not mean automatic. It still underwrites you as a person, mainly over your business. It underwrites you as a person. So they're going to be looking at your strong personal credit profile. So recap, the Elon Financial business cards give you 18 months of 0% up to $38,000 I've seen on a single card, or up to $50,000 if you apply on 2 cards. The longest window of 0% in the entire industry, so you definitely don't want to sleep on it. It always pulls from TransUnion. It pulls 2 hard inquiries if you submit 2 applications, and it does do the balance transfer. Okay, so keep all these things in mind. If you're looking for a great 0% business credit card, I would look no further than the Elan Financial. That's First American Bank and Fulton Bank as well. If you want the full sequence, which banks in which order, and how Elan fits into getting your first $100,000 of 0% interest business credit, I made a completely free masterclass that I presented to a group of people. I'll link that video right here. It outlines how exactly to optimize your credit, build the strongest personal credit profile, and how to actually sequence these business credit applications to help you get approved for $100,000 or more at 0% interest. So if that interests you, getting access to zero interest capital, that video is going to be right here. I'm also going to drop a link to the Credit Stacking 2.0 Mastermind. That is the mastermind where I show people and hold their hand on how to build strong credit and how to help them get approved for business funding. If you want to join that mentorship program of mine that I've had for the last 5 years, I'll link that link down below. Regardless, I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching through. I really hope you got some good value from today's video. If you have any recommendations on topics for videos, feel free to post those in the comments. If you got some value from today's video, I'd really appreciate a like on this video. And if you want to get more value like this moving forward, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. See ya.